everybody. It's Mary. How are you? Hi, Professor. This is my second journal. Oh boy. I'm kind of excited about this actually because I've never really done video journals before, and I feel like a YouTuber or something. So this week's journal is about physical fitness assessment, and I actually really enjoyed this week because it's a lot of the stuff that I really kind of like getting into. I consider myself to be a very physically active person, so I was happy to read more about it. I'd like to know why I do the crazy exercise routines that I do, why it's beneficial, and I like to know and I like to be knowledgeable about those things because I feel like exercise is one of those things that anybody can do, no matter how old you are, how big you are, how small you are, how short you are. If you have no legs, if you've had a stroke, if you've done, I feel like exercise any human being can do, and there's a way to make an exercise appropriate for a person. And being a PT assistant myself, like that's what I do. I make exercise prescriptions for people. I recommend exercise to people. So it's good to know more about why it is so good and why it's important for everybody. So, just looking at all the things that you wanted us to talk about this week, um, why is it important to complete a readiness assessment prior to completing an exercise program? I feel like for me personally, I guess I know myself. I'm pretty active. I've always been very active. So for me, a readiness assessment maybe isn't quite as necessary, I feel like. But for a person that is new to exercise, has never exercised, hates exercising, but knows they need to, definitely a smart thing to do just to get an idea of where you're at. Um, Most likely, people that haven't exercised ever are not going to be in very good shape, clearly. So it's good to have a starting point, so that one, you're not over prescribing exercise right off the bat to one, scare the person away, two, to make them sore so they don't want to come back the next day. So it's good to know where you're starting at and to give them an idea of where they're starting at too. So that kind of goes into why is it important to assess your beginning fitness level. So it's always good to know, like I said, where you're starting, um, to and also to get an idea of where you want to be. Right. So I'm here. I'm down at the bottom. I've never exercised before. I can barely walk a mile. I can barely walk, 500 feet, maybe even, for somebody that's super sedentary. Making knowing where you're at gives you something to work towards, um, and gives a person an idea of what their personal goals would be. My results of the assessment, like I said, I'm pretty physically active. I run a lot. I exercise. I do T25 or insanity videos. So I'm pretty physically active. So my results of the mile time was under 12 minutes. So I can usually run a mile in 9 minutes, which is pretty good. Pretty good at 36 years old. That's not too shabby. So I was actually in the high category for my fitness level. And I was probably higher than most people expected in my age group, which I don't know how accurate those results are. I guess I know a lot of people that are very physically active, people that I work with, and other people that I'm friends with are very physically active and like to exercise. So people that I know tend to be more where I am too. Am I happy with the results? Why or why not? Yes and no. Yes, I'm happy that I'm not in the "oh my god, you're so out of shape" group. However, I always feel like there's always room for improvement as far as my activity is concerned. Um, I I guess I can say this because it's a video blog and I can say whatever I want right now. So I am a smoker, even though I run, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's ridiculous. My plan actually is I really am trying to commit to quitting this year. I really, really want to quit. I've been smoking for years. I try to stay active to quote unquote. Sorry, I got cut off there. um, to quote unquote counteract the effects of smoking. Um, and I keep hoping that it's going to give me motivation to quit because I want to be able to run faster. I want to be able to work harder. I want to be able to lift more weights. I want to be able to live longer. So I'm not happy with my results because I know I can be better. That's the only reason why. Even though I'm still compared to other people in my age group, I'm at a higher level of fitness. I could be better. So anyway, that's why I'm at. So yes, and I'll let you know, Professor, how I do with that, because my birthday is in April, and I plan on quitting by my birthday. How does lifestyle factor of physical fitness affect overall health and wellness? I mean, I think that's pretty no-brainer. I mean, to me it is. To other people, I guess they don't see what a difference activity does to your life. And I see it every day in my job. I see people that literally do nothing, absolutely nothing, all day, every day, day in and day out. And they've been living like that for years and years, and they come to me after they've been in the hospital because of a heart attack, a stroke, congestive heart failure, pneumonia, things like that that can be caused by inactivity, but they don't see that connection there. They don't see that their behavior might have led them up to this path. So clearly lifestyle changes are, even though I see it in, although my lifestyle is not always the best, aka I smoke, people don't see that. So, and it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. You can, and I see it day in and day out. I can tell the people that have been active all their lives and they had some freak accident like a stroke, like a heart attack, and those things do happen for people that are physically active, but not as often as they do with the people that are inactive. So very, very close relationship with overall health and wellness and mental well-being too. Huge difference. And in myself, sometimes I get into slacker mode and I don't work out for a few weeks. The difference in myself mentally, not only physically but mentally, when I don't work out, is I become sluggish, I become moody, I become not depressed, but I would say like not feeling as good about myself. It clearly makes a huge difference. So, okay, next one. How do these results relate back to your physical wellness? We'll move on. I think they're pretty relative. I think they're pretty much the same. I don't think it's any difference as far as my wellness goes, and how I think they're all very closely related. I think the results of that were very similar to this. What other dimensions of wellness does physical wellness affect and how? I think physical wellness, and I talked about this in my first vlog, is that physical wellness, I think, should be the center part of the dimensions of wellness. I feel like a lot of contributing factors, there should be a bigger part of that. It's a huge contributing factor to a lot of the dimensions of wellness. Emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, well, maybe not spiritual wellness, but they can all be closely linked to each other. And I feel like physically, if you're in tune with yourself, if you have good physical wellness, a lot of the other things would be well as well. I just feel like a lot of things fall into place when you're more physically active, and I see it in myself, I see it in my patients, I see it in my son even, when he's not doing a sport or he's not being physically active, like his mood changes, his outlook on things changes. It's different. I think physical activity throughout a lifespan is so important, and it leads to pretty much your quality of life. Your quality of life, your ability to be the person you want to be, and to be able to do things you want to do. So I feel like physical wellness, it keep cutting myself off with all these videos. I set my timer for 5 minutes and I keep going over. So I apologize. Okay, one more thing, and I won't make it last another 5 minutes. The other thing was, how does your physical fitness level, or feel like physical wellness level, how does it affect the dimensions of your wellness? And I think that there is decent research being done about, and you can look it up on Google Scholar, you can look it up on the Ashford Library. If you just type in physical activity, exercise benefits, you have tons and tons and tons of research articles that can give you specific physiological changes that occur, not just to your musculoskeletal system, not just to your cardiovascular system, but to your brain, to the way that you think, to the way that your neurotransmitters work, the way it increases serotonin in your brain that makes you more upbeat and happy and energetic. So I feel like there's so much evidence, physiological evidence, that physical activity benefits you as a whole. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for doing this, actually. I'm really kind of enjoying doing this, even though I don't like videotaping myself. But I kind of like talking it out after the week's over, and talking about all the things that I've learned. So thank you, and I'll see you next week.